radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. How you doing? Today's Thursday, November 8th, 2018. 315 days into the new year. Just 50 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California, and I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planets. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It's Thursday. That's right, which means it's Fader Night. Open lines all night long with Teresa Yanaros and Divine Frequency on the airwaves, premiering tonight. That's right, follow my open lines. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045. or 323-275-9695, or 818-921-6929. I'm going to open up the phone lines. Oh, it's going to be a little bit of ways away. About an hour from now, top of the hour. All right. You know what to do on social media, on Stellar.com. You can head over there, register. Right? If you haven't registered, use my referral code, Jimmy. That's a really cool thing to do. You can do that. Get registered. Send me a friend request. Do that over there on OnStellar. Of course, Twitter is at JChurchRadio. That's simple. Facebook is Fade to Black Radio, I believe. You can go and like that page. And, of course, YouTube. You can subscribe over there. Everything is Fade to Black, and you can go do what you need to do. And you can follow, like, and subscribe over on our website. Okay? Now, at JChurchRadio, hashtag F2B on Twitter. That is where the sandbox resides. We also have 2 chat rooms. We have KGRA, which is right there. Hello, everybody. And what's the other chat room? Spreaker. KGRA. I'm looking at it right here. KGRA. You can and go and do that too as well. All right. Now, any questions or comments tonight or any other night? Hashtag F2BQ. I'm looking at Twitter now. Eric Stitt did a new Fader Night banner featuring Teresa. That's pretty cool. Has Teresa seen that yet? Are we allowed to tweet that out? Well, I guess I just retweeted it, so I don't have a choice there. So there you go. All right. Let's get this show cracking. Let's just go straight to it. Let's just get it going. All right. You can email throughout the show tonight, Jimmy@JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our podcast. It is just $2 a month. We have over 900, what are we up to now? I don't even know, but there's over 900 archive shows right there for just $2 a month. All the apps that you need, go to the app stores and find that Fade to Black app and download it. And there you go, right? It's just $2 a month. It's very cool. Click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. You can also become a Fadernaut. Sent out a lot of Fader gear today. Yeah, we did. Sent out a lot of Fader gear today. Sent a huge package. I hope they're listening. Sent a box of shirts and hats over to England. Yeah, man. That was actually pretty cool. Man, we're in the middle of a windstorm, by the way. That's what's going on here in Southern California. Hate that when it happens. And we're going to have these high wind advisories going through the end of the night tomorrow night. And where I was going with that was, so today I'm out, right? And I'm dealing with the wind. It's just incredible what is going on out there. And I had stuff to do. You know, we got, I had to go get some cables. I had to go, I literally had to go to Best Buy and get a USB extension cable. All right. Oh, stop talking about the box to England. Okay. All right. Rita, I won't mention it anymore. She doesn't want me to mention the box to England. Okay. Sorry about that. You should have told me about that before the show. And I wouldn't have done that. All right, and where am I at? Has the this new banner, Fader Night. Thank you for that, Eric. And there you go. Okay, where am I at? Let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today. Parker Posey is 50. Yeah, Parker Posey is 50. Rita and I just saw her in a TV series. Oh, I can't even remember what it was now. Oh, also, before the show tonight, Rita comes in to the bunker. She goes, hey, is it too windy outside to fly a drone? And I was like, yeah, I would think so. It's we got these wind advisories. It's windy out there. She goes, well, then I just saw a UFO. I was like, what? Yeah, and I don't know, too windy. And she said it wasn't big. It wasn't, it was. But anyway, too windy for a drone. It's just way too windy for that. Happy birthday to Parker Posey. Today she's 50. I can't remember what we just saw her in, but we just saw her in something pretty cool. And our dead guy's birthday today is Minnie Riperton. Yeah, 1947 to 1979, died at the age of 31. Singer-songwriter known for that 5-octave vocal range of hers. And her biggest hit was in 1975 with that single "Lovin' You." Incredible. And I would sit when that song came on the radio, and I had my little AM radio, right, plugged in one ear. And I couldn't wait for that section of the song where she hit those high notes, man. And she was just absolutely incredible. And in January 1976, so she had the hit in 1975, "Lovin' You." And then in 1976, January 1976, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and underwent a radical mastectomy and was given about 6 months to live. She continued recording and touring. She was like, you know what? I'm going to beat this thing. And in 1978, she received the American Cancer Society's Courage Award at the White House from President Jimmy Carter. And then Minnie died of cancer on July 12th, 1979, at the age of 31. Minnie Riperton. There it is. Thank you for that, Eric. There she is right there. She was incredible. Absolutely incredible. 31 years old. On this day in history, that's right, it went down. Big day. 1971. November 8th, 1971. Led Zeppelin releases Led Zeppelin 4, featuring 8 of the greatest songs ever in the history of everything. That's right. And I'm talking about Black Dog, Rock and Roll, The Battle of Evermore, Stairway to Heaven, Misty Mountain Hop, Four Sticks, Going to California, and When the Levee Breaks. That's a record. 8 songs. All right. Light it up on Twitter right now. Leaving Stairway to Heaven off of the list. Right? What's the best song on Led Zeppelin 4? And that's tough, isn't it? That's tough. That's tough. Going to California? When the Levee Breaks? Is it a toss-up there for me? Right there? Is that where I go? I don't know. Four Sticks, Misty Mountain Hop, Battle of Evermore. Right? I don't know. That's a tough call. So I'm going to leave it up to Twitter. Let's run a little let's run a little what do you call it? What do you call it when you I don't even know. That's not even a fair question. I know. It's what I'm saying. A poll. Yeah, let's take a poll. That's not a fair question. When the Levee Breaks, coming in from John Ledford. Yeah, John, I figured you would do something like that. Yeah, where do you go with that? Going to California, man. Battle of Evermore. Woo. Survey. Poll or survey. Thank you, Sarah. My brain locked up. Where do we go with that? Misty Mountain Hop from Space Ghost. Brian says, side 2. Yeah, I want to see some more coming in here. Where do we go with this? Where do you go? That is tough. That is how great that album is. All right. Fader Fact. Black Dog. I know, right? I know. I'm with you. Okay, let me focus. That's a tough question. It's not even fair. Fader Fact. Here we go, and I'm going to say it. Black Dog for me, coming in from Gabriel. I'm going to say it now before I announce this. Okay? Fader Fact. This is one that you're going to use tomorrow. Okay? Fader Fact. On average, 12 newborns are given to the wrong parents every single day. And that is tragic, man. Do they figure it out? Yeah, Triscale's going with 4 Sticks. The Art of Eric Stitt. Eric is going with the Immigrant Song, but it's a great song. It's not on this album, though. But, okay, Eric. Oh, he's going away. The Battle of Evermore from Walter. Yeah, you guys are all getting, look at this. This is, 4 Sticks. Yeah, you guys are, now it's blasting by. That's the 20-second delay that we're running here. Tonight is another Fader night with Teresa Yanaros here. Divine Frequency on the Airwaves is premiering tonight, followed by open lines all night long. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Phones are already starting to light up. I'm not going to open up the phone lines here for 45 minutes. You want to sit on hold for 45 minutes? That's up to you. Or 818-921-6929. Okay. Let me hit this coffee. How you guys doing? Yeah, I know where you guys think you know where I'm going to go right now. Well, you're going to be wrong. Sort of. Last night, I called for a truce. That's right, I did. I called for a timeout for our community. That things just seem to be getting out of control. And not only with us, but our nation, our world, right? And we all know it. And I appreciated last night the positive feedback and the emails. No stinkers came in, by the way. I was pretty surprised by that. But, yeah, right? Okay. And it was a great show, Randall Carlson. So, I kick off the show last night and I do this thing and this call to arms. Let's get together. Let's call a truce and let's just group together and, kumbaya, right? And then rolled right into Randall. And it was just an amazing conversation. And Randall last night, this is where I'm going. Randall really enjoyed himself. And so did I. And last night after the show, Randall and I talked for about another 15 minutes. And just in a good mood, right? And, man, what a show, Jimmy. And I'm coming out west. We got to hang out. I want to take you to some places. And, yeah, it was like that. It was just a good place for me to be, right? Rita was fired up, and we were just right there. It was all good. It was good. So we wrapped the show, headed home with a quick drive-by to In-N-Out Burger, and I posted pictures of us at the drive-thru. And, and we get home, unpacking this and that, bags, dogs, this, that, and a few minutes later, after all of that, and we eat our burgers and we're in a good mood. And around 11:15 p.m. last night, a gunman walked up to a bouncer outside of the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks, right here in the Valley in Southern California, right? Our neighborhood. And he shot the bouncer, forced his way into the club, then shot the next person that he ran into, a woman working at the front counter. Makes his way into the club and just starts shooting. Officers arrived on the scene nearly right on top of it, 2 to 3 minutes after the initial call to law enforcement. Right, the gunfire is going off. Now, I want to say this, Thousand Oaks is a very peaceful. It was for years and years and years. Every year, it's like the safest community in the United States. It's a very small community. It's very small. It's isolated, and this is the last place you would think something like this would happen. So officers showed up 2 to 3 minutes after that initial call, and a few minutes later, Ventura County Sheriff's Sergeant Ron Hellis and a California Highway Patrol officer headed into the bar after hearing more shots. As they entered through the front door, Hellis, Ventura County Sheriff, was struck by bullets, a lot of them. The Highway Patrol officer stepped back, pulled Hellis from the line of fire, and secured his post until more officers arrived. In the end, 12 people were killed, including Hellis, a 29-year law enforcement veteran. And it just seems to me that things are out of control. And yeah, our community is a little tense at the moment, but there seems to be some real issues going on out there that we need to get grounded. And as I tried to head off to sleep last night, I was forced to really think about things. What is really going on? And I thought about, and I'm reading Twitter and I'm watching the news and right down the street, this is going on. It's going on in our neighborhood, our town, our city. And here I am, upset about our community being torn apart and people fighting here and things going on and doxing and crazy. It's just like, you know what, man? Over UFOs, right? UFOs, man. UFOs. We need to just stop. So, yeah, I stand by that truce. I stand by it. And I'm surprised that other leaders in this community haven't stepped up. So I tweeted tonight. Okay, all right. Does somebody have to be first here? Does somebody have to be first? Why hasn't somebody else stepped in and go, hey, whoa, right? You know, our problems in this community are bordering on stupid, right? It's like right there. You know, childlike behavior that is turning criminal, right? Criminal. I'm talking about criminal behavior over UFOs. And I got to come on here and make a plea to all of us. I just, man, you know, it's crazy that right now, as I am speaking to you, there's somebody out there right now going, man, you know what? I got to make a video about this. I got to continue to flame this community. I'm going to be the one to stand up. It's like crazy. It's crazy. And meanwhile, 12 people die right here in the valley. And it is just crazy. So that's it. We have just that's it. I am calling for the leaders of this community. I'm calling for everybody out there that are contemplating making some crazy, stupid video complaining about somebody else in this community, that somebody else is getting doxxed, somebody else is reacting to the dox, somebody else is, you know what? Grow up, kids. All of you. Every single one. And I mean the filmmakers, the authors, the so-called journalists, all of you, grow up. Grow up. That's it. That's it. I mean, I'm seriously thinking about what is going on in my neighborhood last night, and I roll off of a show that we done, and I'm watching what's going on in Twitter, and you know what, man? Just stop it. Stop it. Okay? Just stop it. There's enough drama out there. There's enough emotions. There's enough. There are things going on this planet and in this country, right? What we need to worry about is the prize. And what is that prize? What's going on in the skies, the stars, the heavens, the universe, communication, ET, time travel, parallel universes. You know, those conspiracies of Washington and what did they know and not know. That's what we're here to figure out together, and that's enough to worry about. We don't need to sit here and contemplate attacks from coming in from somebody. So I'm going to post, or I'm going to dox, or I'm going to retweet, or I'm going to react, or I'm going to post a video, and I'm going to go flame out somebody else. I'm going to make somebody else angry. I'm going to force somebody to do. Stop it, man. Because I had to think about 12 people that died in the valley last night. And I got yahoos out here making videos. I got yahoos out here doing podcasts. I got yahoos just freaking people out. It's just, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So am I upset? Look, I don't do negativity. I just don't do it. But on one side, I'm seeing what's going on in my town, and this retarded stuff that is going on that is turning into criminal on Twitter and YouTube and podcast and things, and people that just think that they stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. All right? So last night I unblocked a couple of people. I did. I unblocked. You know, okay, all right. I'll be the first. I'll take the first steps here. Truce. That's it. Please. Truce. All of you, quit talking about others. Worry about aliens and UFOs and time travel and conspiracies and Egypt and lost history and our education system and what we're being told and the real truth that's out there. That is what you need to talk about. That will show people that you're a leader. Okay? All right? Now, I want to say this, and I've got to get this out of the way. Jon Rappoport is no longer with us, and he's dealing with some private, personal issues right now, and I can't comment. He asked me not to say anything, so I'm not going to do any of that. But his participation and what he did for Fade to Black week after week after week after week, bringing the truth and fighting fake news and being a champion and looking up is something that I'm very proud of and something that this entire community would rally around and listen to Jon and his wise words every single week. And I'm going to miss Jon. There's always a place for him in the future, but he's out there doing his thing right now. So all of us need to seriously send some vibes his way. He's a great guy and dealing with some heavy issues right now. Okay? And that's what's going on. I couldn't say anything because I need to respect Jon and what's going on out there. It's not my position to do that. But now we've made some changes. And with that, tonight it's going to be the premiere of Teresa Yanaros here, Divine Frequency on the Airwaves. And she will be here week after week on FADERNIGHT doing her thing. Again, bringing this community together, her wisdom and how she looks at life, and not only that part of it, but how she communicates and how she speaks to her generation. It's all part of this community and what Fade to Black is about and moving forward. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to get out of here. And I'm excited because when I come back, Teresa Yanaros is going to be here, and this is the premiere. So let's welcome her right after this short break. This is Fade to Black. It is FADERNIGHT, open lines all night long. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Email is jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. You can follow me on Twitter @jchurchradio. Right? Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions. I'll be right back with, are you ready? Teresa Yanaros. Stay with us. I'll be right back.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices, And let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to getthetea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. Getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Fader Night. I do want to take this opportunity to thank Jon Rappoport for being part of the Fade to Black broadcast, bringing us his wisdom and hard work. But tonight, it's the premiere of Teresa Yanaros and the Divine Frequency on the Airwaves, followed by open lines all night long. Welcome, Teresa, and take it away.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Hi, guys. This is Teresa Yanaros at Divine Frequency, and you are tuning into On the Airwaves Radio. The times have changed and the tides have shifted. Let's ride the waves. This show is packed with high energy mediatainment live. And for those of you who know me, I have a lot of energy. And no, that's not the coffee, my friends. That's just me all the time. So sorry to burst anyone's bubble there. We are diving deep into the realms of the world. We are exploring the farthest reaches of the unknown. We're leaving no ocean unexplored. And y'all can join me on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for deeper perspectives on a vast array of news media topics, from current events to popular culture. If you want to join the conversation as we're flowing through the ether, y'all, go to Twitter and you can live tweet with Divine Frequency using the hashtag DF Airwaves. That's Divine Frequency Airwaves, DF Airwaves. My superstar associate, Sterling Nicole Bennett, shout out to you, girl, will be the ringleader of our live tweeting experience this evening. Shout out to Sterling. You can follow her on Twitter at Stario Crossing and me at Divine Frequency. So please go on over and hang out. Feel free to tweet to the hashtag DF Airwaves as we go. Today is Thursday, November 8th, 2018. All right, let's dive right in. Hashtag Mermaid Live. We are going to start off with current events, and it's a little bit heavy. It's a little bit heavy today, guys. We're going to start off a little heavy. We're going to get through this, and then we're going to come out on the other end, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff. But there was a shooting, and this is the information is coming from BBC.com and CNN.com. And there was a shooting yesterday in Thousand Oaks, California. This was Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. Ian David Long, aged 28, entered the Borderline Bar and Grill. He opened fire during a college night at the establishment. 12 people were killed, including a police officer. This shooter was a Marine veteran who often visited the site of the shooting. Law enforcement officers had run-ins with the individual before, such as a minor traffic collision, and in 2015, he was actually the victim of a battery in a bar. So the night of November 7th, last night, he was found dead inside the bar when the police entered. And Mayor Andy Fox said that this bar was considered one of the safest cities Thousand Oaks is considered one of the safest cities in the country. So these things happen. Tragedies happen. So I want to say right now, let's take a moment to send prayers and thoughts to everyone affected by this. We feel for you. And these occurrences are tragic indeed. And what needs to happen in the wake of these types of events is a space of healing and community. So I wanted to talk about the deeper implications of any kind of tragedy. And I thought that this would be a good time to discuss this, because each of us has to choose to bring light to the darkness. We have to choose to tap into the divine frequency, right? And bring unconditional love to this planet. And, none of us are perfect. We're all human, right? But these types of instances really should bring us back to center and make us remember who we are, what we want to be, and how we can show love to others. And I thought that this was a really good opportunity to share a story with you guys about how I was actually affected by a mass shooting in my own hometown when I was growing up. So on the evening of September 15th, 1999, a gunman entered Wedgwood Baptist Church in Fort Worth, Texas, where I grew up, and he opened fire, killing 7 and wounding 7. And the reason why I bring this up is because what happened afterwards completely changed my life. What happened in the wake of such a senseless tragedy is that you see the community coming together in ways that you don't see otherwise. And it was amazing to watch people from all across belief systems, people you would never see together in a room, coming together, holding each other, meditating, praying, and holding each other. And our community became so close. And I bring this up because we don't have to witness tragedy in order to come together through unconditional love. It's not a necessity, but those are some times that remind us of who we are. So I just wanted to bring that up and also mention the heroes that arise to protect the public during these times. There was a police officer that was killed last night, and our thoughts and prayers go out to you. And something that I wanted to say is that true colors tend to come out in times of deep stress and tragedy. So think back in your life to a time that you came together with your friends and family around those hard times, and let's allow this moment to remind us of what is important. And what is it that's truly important? It's our experiences with our family and our friends. And when we see this happening on a macrocosmic scale, it's time to look at how we can look within into the microcosm, and how we can change ourselves, and how we can improve the world around us. Life is precious, and we need to appreciate our community and love somebody. So take that moment to love somebody. So, okay, we're going to shift now. We're going to shift out, and we're going to talk about travel. I wanted to do a travel feature because the world is a beautiful place. So let's take a look. And this article is coming from CNN.com. Jaco Prisco reported on CNN about the world's largest underwater restaurant. And it's opening in spring of 2019. Unfortunately, it's in Norway, but there it is. Hopefully we can get one in the United States soon. I'm all about that. But this is 16 feet underwater. It's a story and a half. That's what I calculated. 16 feet is about a story and a half. It's 110 feet long. That's about 11 stories high if you're looking at a building, right? This is Europe's first underwater restaurant. It's nearing completion. And this is how they sunk it. They filled containers with water. They put it inside the structure, and then they secured it to the bottom of the North Sea. This is the southern tip of Norway. So they sunk it in July of 2018. And when it's going to open in 2019, guests will enter at the shoreline across a glass walkway to the building. And then more than half of this is submerged. I see that Sterling in Twitter right now says, what, an underwater restaurant? Do they serve mermaids? Blasphemy. Do y'all want to go? I want to go. Anyway, I went down a rabbit hole, y'all, and I started researching underwater restaurants and hotels. And I thought to myself, where else in the world can you hang out in buildings underwater? Well, I found one called Lovers Deep. This is on scubadiverlife.com. And this is a company called Oliver's Travels, and they specialize in luxury villa rentals. So there's a submarine called Lovers Deep, and it will go to a location chosen by the customer from St. Lucia to the Red Sea. So this submarine has been specially designed for leisure. The guests can even choose the interior design and the furniture. A private chef cooks the food on board, and there's even a personal butler. So I looked into the cost, and it was $220,000 US to stay there for one night. $220,000 US. This might be a pipe dream, right? Unless, should we all go in together? We got someone over there with $220,000. We can go create a party. Okay, so you're probably wondering, why are we talking about this, Teresa? There's no way we have that kind of money. How is this relevant for us? Well, it's time for a makes you wonder. New hashtag, right? DF Airwaves. We've got a new hashtag. Hashtag makes you wonder. This is expensive now, right? But at some point, will we tap into building more structures under the water for commercial and residential use? I'm seeing all kinds of pictures jumping up in the chat over here on Twitter. And at what point, my question is this, what point will we stop building up and out and start building down? So we have all of these space movies, these sci-fi space movies, but what about an underwater sci-fi movie? That's what I want. So let's talk about that. Have you guys ever seen any sci-fi movie that took place underwater? I know that there's a video game, actually, BioShock. I think it was BioShock 2, if I'm remembering correctly, took place underwater. That was a really cool video game. If y'all know of any movie that I need to watch, that we all need to watch, that's a sci-fi movie underwater, drop it into the chat right now on Twitter, hashtag DF Airwaves. So is it time to buy stock in mermaid tail companies? Because I'm trying to live in a house under the water so that I can go swimming around in my mermaid tail whenever I want. That would be amazing. I've also decided that I need a splash sound that I can use during the broadcasts. All right, let's dive right in. Hashtag Mermaid Life. We're going to shift. We're going to talk about science news now. So, Mosasaurus bones turned up along the coast of West Africa. Scientists are working on putting together the bones of an ancient sea monster in Angola, West Africa. So this was on NPR.org, reported by Christopher Joyce. This was reported on November 8th, 2018. And so there's this gigantic swimming reptile, and some of the bones have turned up along the coast of West Africa, and they're going to an exhibit Friday, which is tomorrow, November 9th, 2018, at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. Paleontologist Louis Jacobs of Southern Methodist University in Dallas, that's SMU, that's actually right down the street for me, has been digging in Angola since 2005. He says fossils from its coastline tell the story of the ocean's earliest days and some of the first creatures that lived there. So I'm going to go into the past. We're going to do a short history lesson. So 135 million years ago, the supercontinent Gondwana started to break apart, and the South Atlantic Ocean began to fill in the gap between Africa and South America. So lots of changes in the sea level and the temperature occurred, and this created a new space for sea creatures to live in. Here's where the mosasaurs come in. So at SMU, they're reconstructing a mosasaur for the museum. Now, I'm going to tell you what this looks like for those of you who aren't already Googling this and dropping things into Twitter. So this is part lizard and part orca. It possibly had scales and a shark-looking tail fin, 3-inch long teeth, and a wide snout. That's also with 3-foot-long jaws. These things were 50 feet long. That's the size of a bus. So I think we need to draw some mosasaurs. I know that we have some artists here in the audience. Eric Stitt, let's see your mosasaur. If you want to submit art, let's do it on the Airwaves radio at gmail.com to be showcased. So this was the mosasaur was the T-Rex of the sea. Very cool. So maybe we need some art depictions of this. This is how Divine Frequency does it. Maybe we should get some underwater cities going with some ancient sea monsters. Let's see that. Okay, so back to the Mosasaur project. So how was the project started? Again, this is from the article on NPR by Christopher Joyce. So Michael Polchin started piecing the dinosaur together in his dining room, but the skeleton got so big that it's now hanging in the department's basement. How is that for a skeleton in the closet? I need a cricket sound as well. So I started looking up mosasaurs on YouTube, and I found a scene from the 2015 film Jurassic World. Y'all ever seen that movie? I haven't. I really want to go see it now. So this short clip that I watched, it was about a minute long. It took place at what appeared to be a dinosaur zoo, kind of like SeaWorld, except with dinosaurs. The amusement park guide speaks into a microphone very calmly as a shark on a crane is lifted over the water, and an enormous mosasaur launches up out of the water very suddenly after the woman calmly tells everyone, she's a little shy. And then this violent scene ensues and the mosasaur devours the shark and the crowd's cheering. It was very vicious and kind of crazy. So that's the mosasaur. They're pretty cool. I'm seeing some images go up right now on Twitter. Very nice. Okay, so next we're going to talk a little bit more about science because I just can't get away from science. You know, I had to throw a couple in here. This is from universetoday.com. So this is the headline. I wanted to read it because I think it's just a great headline. We could build a powerful laser and let any civilizations within 20,000 light years know we're here. Although, should we? So I wanted to talk about this. So Evan Galf reported on November 7th, 2018, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, that's MIT, scientists published a paper. This is a feasibility study, okay? It's very important to understand this is a feasibility study, okay? And they're discussing how building a powerful laser could, in quotations, communicate our presence to any other technological civilizations in our galactic vicinity. Very interesting stuff. So let's nerd out. One of the authors, James Clark, who's an MIT grad student, he took different telescopes and things that were already being built today to see if a detectable beacon could be made out of them. So he assessed a Japanese 2 quadrillion watt laser that was fired in 2015. So this was only fired for 1/1,000,000,000 of a second. And so he had to do a little bit more research because that just wasn't powerful enough to do what he wanted it to do in this study. So he looked to the Air Force, to a project called the Airborne Laser Project. And the point of this project was to equip the Boeing 747 with a laser to shoot down ballistic missiles. And a ballistic missile is, Wikipedia defines it as, following a ballistic trajectory to deliver one or more warheads on a predetermined target. So Clark looked at the range of this device. He calculated that it would work for what he needed. So the authors moved on to the next phase, which was looking at telescopes. So the authors of this feasibility study, they would need to fire the laser through a telescope, right? With approximately 30 to 45 meters in diameter. That's 98 to 147 feet approximately. So they were able to find this, and this is my personal favorite, the European Extremely Large Telescope. That's the name of it. That is 39.3 meters, and for the primary mirror. I think the intern came up with that name, the European Extremely Large Telescope. So the observatory aims to gather 100 million times more light than the human eye. And I pulled this information from Wikipedia. This is another statistic. It has around 256 times the light gathering area of the Hubble Space Telescope. So the laser has to be powerful enough to be seen over the power of the sun, because the light from our sun would drown out the laser. And so it would be tuned to infrared for contrast against the sun's infrared range. I thought that was really interesting. So I'm going to give you guys a quote from this article that I thought was really cool. The signal would be visible to any alien observers within about 20,000 light years if they were looking close enough. Very cool. So, and then Clark mentioned, where would it be built? Maybe on the moon. So remember, this is just a feasibility study, but I do think it's interesting to consider nevertheless. It's interesting to take the existing tools that we have in the public sector to consider what else we could create. Think about that. It makes you wonder. Like, I really appreciate how thoughtful these students are. If we took our minds and started to assess that which we already have access to, what new ideas could we expand into? This reminds me that the world is a playground. I used to teach kindergarten. Kids are in their world like it's a playground every moment. They're exploring. And sometimes as adults, we can forget that. We can forget that reality. But the world is a playground, and the possibilities are endless. And when we choose to be childlike and sit in a space of open exploration, there is so much richness around us to be explored. Now, we're going to shift again. And this is the most interesting story that I have come in contact with in the last week. I'm so excited to tell you guys about this that I'm shaking in my chair. I don't know if you guys know about this yet, and I don't know if you guys know how obsessed I am with the Rendlesham Forest incident, but guess what? Laurence Fishburne is going to be starring in Sony Pictures' UFO drama Rendlesham. I kid you not, guys. And for those of you who don't know, the Rendlesham Forest incident is a world-renowned UFO sighting. It took place over 3 days in December of 1980 in Suffolk, England, at the twin NATO air bases, RAF Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge. That's Royal Air Force, is what RAF stands for. There were multiple accounts of seeing lights in the sky. Popular accounts of the event include testimonies by Staff Sergeant Jim Peniston, Airman First Class John Burroughs, and they investigated a craft that allegedly landed in the Rendlesham Forest. My father was stationed at RAF Woodbridge at the time. He was a pilot in the 81st Tactical Fighter Wing. He flew A-10s. So shout out to my dad, love you, daddy. And he's super excited about this show, and so am I. I can't wait to see it. So in the Sony Pictures Television and 11th Hour Films, they're co-producing this 8-part series. It's a TV drama called Rendlesham, and they cast Laurence Fishburne as the lead. So the story will revolve around his family who live in the area at the time. So I'm sure I'm going to be doing so much more reporting on this. I would love it if you guys watched it with me. So keep an eye on that TV show, because we're going to get to talk about UFOs. Now, what I wanted to mention here that I think is super interesting is that Laurence Fishburne was the character Morpheus in The Matrix. So what I think is interesting about actors is that you have archetypes. An archetype is an original pattern that other patterns are fashioned after, right? And then over time, these archetypes fuse together into a larger group of meaning, sometimes referred to as a gestalt. So when we look at actors, sometimes the roles they play, they amass together, and in our minds, we recognize them in certain roles, and then we see them overall as a grouping of their roles. So I wanted to talk about this. So we know this character as Morpheus in the Matrix, right? So he represented the illuminated sage, or the one with the answers, right? And I think that that's super interesting that they've chosen him for the role, the lead role in Rendlesham. So cool, because it's moving us into the realm of thought about ETs, UFOs, advanced technology, government conspiracy. Does he represent the illuminated sage in the Rendlesham series? Does he represent the one with the answers? So only time will tell. We will be reporting on this much more. I can tell you that much, folks. If you want the source links, Divine Frequency is dedicated to providing whatever resources it can in order to assist with the global truth-seeking process. We provide full transparency into sourcing, and it is our intention to support your research process. Through our website, thedivinefrequency.com, please notice the source section at the bottom of all articles. Here you can find links to all of the original posts. If you are interested in reading any of the articles that I discussed today, I would love to share my content with you. Please send an inquiry to ontheairwavesradio@gmail.com. I will be more than happy to provide a full list of sources to the original articles featured in this news segment. So we're going to close this on down, guys. Let's remember gratitude. Let's sit in a space of gratitude for what we're going through right now. We're in November. We're coming up to Thanksgiving. I'm your hostess, Teresa Yanaros at Divine Frequency. Thank you for joining me for this evening's celebration. This is On the Airwaves Radio. This life is all about riding the wave between the known and the mystery. For a sparkly dose of media-tainment and personal empowerment with a refreshing blast of glitter and truth, join me weekly on Thursday nights on jimmychurchradio.com at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. The live Twitter hashtag is #DFAirwaves. Email questions and perspectives to On the Airwaves at ontheairwavesradio@gmail.com. You can follow Divine Frequency on Twitter, Instagram, and please go to our website, thedivinefrequency.com, and sign up for our newsletter. The times have changed and tides have shifted. Let's ride the airwaves, y'all. All around us are pieces of the gigantic cosmic puzzle. Let's attune to its frequency. Bye.
Well done, Teresa. Well done. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Jimmy. This was fun. Can you believe that about Rendlesham?
Look, the question is, we all know the players of Rendlesham, right? They've all been on this show. Who does he play? That's all I want to know. If that's, Rita and I were talking about that. Okay, wait a minute. We've got so-and-so. Okay. Who is Laurence going to play? Or is it going to be a created role?
It's a created role. So he's supposed to play the role of, well, let me look at this. Tyrone, a retired American airman previously stationed at the infamous U.S. Okay, so I guess it is a real person. U.S. Air Base during the height of the Cold War. Maybe. I guess it doesn't really say. It doesn't say if it's a real person, but it says retired American airman. Maybe they probably made it up, honestly.
I so want to insert a joke here, but I'm just going to let it go. I'm excited for the series. I think he's also an executive producer. So he's in. He's pushed his chips to the middle of the table. I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much, Teresa. Behave and be well, and we'll see you next week right here on Fade to Black.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Jimmy, and thanks for the amazing gear. Awesome.
Courtesy of Tascam. Thank you so much, Teresa. And now that was pretty amazing. And next up is Open Lines, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. but you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Kathleen, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angio Prim. Angio Prim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angio Prim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angio Prim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright-Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Teresa Yanaros. That was a pretty good premiere right there. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And it's going to be a busy night on the phones. I see that right now. Let's get straight to it. And let's go to area code 425. You're up first on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Oh, Jimmy.
Hey, Inquirer. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, my friend. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Bring it. What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to try to start this Fader night out with a good, happy, positive reminder to everyone. And it started out with me this morning. I had this weird experience that reminded me of a past experience where when I first went through some of the big kind of awakening stuff in my life, I was listening to John 5. You know John 5 from Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie?
Absolutely. I worked with John for many years.
Oh, okay. Well, man, one day I was listening to his solo stuff, and I almost just broke down. And it was simply because it dawned on me for the first time, like, wow, this person is living his dream. And as another human, how can you not be totally stoked for someone else that gets to live their dream?
Mm-hmm.
And then this morning, I was thinking about all the people that I look up to in this ufology world. And they're living their dream, and their dream is to learn and to teach. And it does not get much better than that. And so I guess kind of what I'm getting at with all this is for everyone, whether you're a public speaker, a musician, a parent, a radio host, a friend, whatever you are, there are people that look up to you. And just remember that. Like every single person listening to this, just remember that there is somebody that looks up to you. And so just keep that in mind when you carry yourself throughout the day. And tonight when you call into this show, just remember that somebody looks up to you.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. There you go. That sets the tone for the show right there. And I'm just going to say this. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you over on Coast to Coast Saturday and Sunday. My week is not over, so I've got to keep on moving this thing forward. But thank you, Inquire, and be safe and be well.
You as well, everyone.
Thank you so much. And that's a message right there. I really appreciate that. And let's keep it going. Let's go to area code 972. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy, this is rock and roll pal Mark from Dallas. What up?
Hey, Mark from Dallas. How are you?
Man, I'm great. It's cold and windy in Texas tonight, too, man. I don't guess it's cold there, but you said it was windy.
Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It's probably 70. It's probably 70. It might be. Nah, you know what? I'm exaggerating. It's probably 68. You know.
You're killing me.
Yeah,
man.
I know. So what's going on tonight, Mark? What have you got?
Man, I've got, number one, let me compliment you on something. I remember the last time Micah Pearson called in, I was just thinking how cool it is for you to do that with him. Just think, man, if when you were a kid, if you could have called into Art Bell and Art would have put you on and give you airtime, how cool would that have been?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But anyway, man, I've got a really cool quick time machine game if you want to play it.
Yeah, let's go. You've always got something interesting planned here. Okay, so let's go. Let's do the time machine.
Okay, I've got the now. Remember on Bullwinkle and Rocky, they had Mr. Peabody and Sherman. They had the Wayback Machine. Well, I forgot all about the Wayback Machine, but I remember watching it as a kid. So I've got the Wayback fired up. Now, the name of this game tonight, we're going back to September 16th, 1971.
Whoa. Okay.
This is going to blow your mind. The name of this is They Died Too Young.
Okay.
They Died Too Young.
Gotcha.
On September 16th, 1971, two different bands were playing in two different cities. The first band played at the Warehouse in New Orleans, Louisiana. It was the Allman Brothers.
Ooh. Okay.
The second band on the same date, September 16th, 1971, at John F. Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., was Chicago.
Oh,
now,
okay.
So what we're talking about now is the lead guitarists.
In both bands, yes.
Duane Allman.
And Terry Kath.
Was playing. and Terry Kath going head to head. Now, if you had to go back in time in the Wayback Machine, which one of those shows would you go see?
It's just not fair, man. It's just simply not fair. It's simply not fair. That's not fair. Oh, man. Oh, man.
You got to man up, brother. Come on. I'm not going to make it easy on you. Let me ask you this first.
You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm just gonna go with my gut. I'm going Duane Allman. I'm going Allman Brothers. I'm going Allman Brothers. And as painful as that is, and if nobody has seen it, there is a documentary that just came out on Chicago. And it was released, I think, maybe 6 months ago. And I finally caught it. And you go through, and if you don't understand the greatness of Terry Kath, you go and you watch that documentary and his talent. He was a great singer too, as well. And the way that he held that, everybody was a contributor in Chicago. There's no doubt about it. But he was such a central figure of that band. And all of that just monstrous stuff that they put out in 70, 71, and continued too as well. But nonetheless, I just came off of watching that documentary. And then you go and lay this on me, and I know, the greatness of Terry Kath. Man. But Duane Allman, Duane Allman. At least with Terry got quite a few albums out, and he didn't leave this planet until what, 78. 78. And so Terry at least had that going for him. Duane was taken from us way, way too early. And I don't think he, Allman Brothers was amazing. But to be honest, I don't think he even came close to understanding his influence, which...
Well, that's not even mentioning what he did with Eric Clapton and Derek and the Dominoes.
That's right. And see, that's another thing. He laid down those tracks for Layla and Split, and they spilled coffee on those tracks. They had to dry out the tape. That's a very famous story. Are you kidding? Oh yeah. It's a very famous story behind that. We almost didn't get that, right? But anyway, he never even heard Layla.
I did not know that, man. You laid that on me. I didn't know that.
Yep. So
let me say this real quickly about Terry Kath. I agree. Number one, I agree. We are agreed that we'll go see Duane Allman. But let me interject about Terry Kath. You're 1,000% right. Now, when Duane Allman died, the Allman Brothers continued on with other guitarists, and they continued to be a badass rock band for years and years and years, correct?
Yes.
So, Terry Kath died, and I will always say that Chicago stopped being a rock band when Terry Kath died. That band completely changed. Pete Cetera became the lead singer, which, I can take him or leave him, man. But Terry Kath was the heart and soul of that band, and when he died, the rock died with it. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, that's right. Oh, that's what I was just saying. You go and you watch that documentary, and you see that although everybody contributed to Chicago, there's no question about it, but Terry Kath, man, he was the glue. Man. He was the glue. Well, thank you for that, Mark. There you go.
All right, brother.
You pinned me into a corner. You pinned me into a corner. I'll talk to you soon.
Hope you have a good evening, man.
I'll talk to you. Thank you, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. That was a great phone call. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Damien from Hamilton.
Damien from Hamilton. How are you?
How you doing, Jimmy? Hey, you know what I'm thinking right now, Jimmy? I hear all this stuff that's been going around. I only have to say one thing. Everybody, just relax. Everything's going to be good, man. People need to start fighting with each other, and blaming people for what. That doesn't even matter. You know what matters? Family.
That's right.
Family matters. Fate or not, hey, you're listening to me right now? Spread positive vibes like I'm spreading right now. We all go through some stuff, Jimmy. All of us. We can't sit here and go against each other. I love everybody out there. I love the messages that you spread, Jimmy. And I know I haven't called in a while, but look, it's all good, guys. We're good. We have to step back and forget about and start nitpicking at every single little thing that comes. There's always somebody out there that's doing worse than we are. So why are we going to complain about little stuff that doesn't even matter?
Yeah,
at the end of the day, as long as we have our family and we're all well, hey, let's support each other. Move forward, you know?
That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
And,
yeah, go ahead.
And, and I'm, look, right now, right here, I live near Chigo. There's fires going on in Paradise. People are here trying to look for a place to, because the stuff is burning down. That's the stuff that we should worry about, Not like, not arguing, like you said, within our community. Everybody that's listening right now. You can't be, you're right, you're wrong. That doesn't matter. We have to be here for our family. At the end of the day, hey, guys, we're all going to be okay as long as we support each other and not break this community apart. And I understand that sometimes, the forces that be, like I said before, is going to try to do that, but hey, they're not gonna break us down, Jimmy. And positive vibes, so hold up or not. And I love you guys.
Thank you so much, Damien. Behave and be well, my friend.
Yes, Jimmy. And I love you guys, man. I'm always listening.
I know you are. We love you right back.
Keep up the good work. And Rita, hey, hi, how you doing? And I'm still here. I'm going through my own stuff myself. Hey, but it's not going to break me down. And hey, everybody out there, don't let anything break you down. Just remember, we all love each other. And we stick together. I love you guys. Stay or not.
Thank you, Damien. Thank you so much. It's a great message. Thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, no problem, man. Take care.
Have a great night. And, Damien getting emotional there. But I started to, okay, I'll get this thought out. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And, I was thinking about, I'm just going to get this thought out, and then I'll get right back to the calls, I promise. That, the size of the community, which is growing, right? And it's ginormous. It's big. And what's really funny here, I would say that probably, I hate it when somebody says 99.99%, but that's probably the case here, where the majority of the community just doesn't care and is moving on, right? They don't pay attention to it and so forth. The community isn't trying to break itself apart. It's a few selected individuals out there that are attempting to do this, and that's what's really crazy to me. It's such a small number. It's such a small number. The rest, yeah, I get it. I really do. And that was emotional. But Damien, I hear you, man, and thank you for that message. Thank you so much. Let's go back to the phones. Area code 830. You're up next.
Hey, this is Neil Rubishow. I've been doing scientific research in seeing invisible dimensions.
Okay.
Yeah, and I got a big breakthrough. I found I could see them in the trees now. I could see them in the clouds. I looked through veils like feathers, through like Moses did. He looked through a veil they talked about in the Bible, but no one knows why. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I figured out I have telepathy. At first I started looking at the clouds, and the spirit in the cloud says, help us. And she could see that I could see her. And I said, well, what's going on? And then when she tried to tell me what happened, what's going on, I lost telepathy because I got excited. And this is the first time I ever, did this. And then, so I started to try to read the lips to, see if I could hear again. And they started covering their mouths because they were trying to tell me what was going on, And, but now I could see, but I want to teach people how to see because I taught myself how to see. You know what I'm saying?
I want to jump back, Neil. You said invisible dimensions. When you say what do you mean?
Well, they're in the trees. You ever seen that movie Predator, where you half see them and you half don't?
Oh, so
I see them in the trees too.
Beings
in the walls. Yeah, they're spiritual beings. Most of them are demons, and the moon is a war planet, okay? The moon is a false heaven. If you study the moons, our moon is the only one that's white, that glows. Well, what happens is when you die, you see that big white light, and it's like glowing. It's a false heaven. So everybody, and then you get sucked up into the, what they call it, like black holes. They suck you up like a vacuum cleaner. They got technology like that.
Okay. We'll circle back to that, Neil, but I want to stay focused on these beings here. You said they're like Predator. Who are they? What are they?
Well, what it is they go around biting people's heads off. It's really crazy. I've seen vampires. I've seen centaurs, all kinds of different animals, and the animals can talk like humans. It's amazing. And in normal life, I could watch a cow or a horse in the pasture, and you could see them talking, if you watch them long enough,
What do you mean? And, what do you mean they go around biting people's heads off? Have you seen this happen?
All right. Yeah, like a big vampire. You know what they do? They don't just bite you in the neck. They just fucking bite your.
Hey!
Ones grab a.
Neil, no bad language.
What? Okay, they bite your head off, and then they drink you like a cup. They turn you upside down. These big vampires.
You've seen this.
You know what I'm saying?
You've seen this.
Yeah. And I've seen these beings, they cutting people in half because they're trying to stop the powers of the human beings. And what they do is they get these aliens to go inside the body, and they take the bodies and they take them to the moon or spaceships and shit.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Neil, you got to watch the language, man. There's kids listening to this show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right, now.
But I'm just.
But let's wait a minute. If you've seen them bite a head off and tip the body up and drink the blood out, where's the body? Did you call the police? I mean, what do you do?
No. No one's gonna believe you. No one. Like if it was you seeing this stuff, no one's gonna believe you.
But there's a body there.
No, this is in the invisible dimension.
Oh, in the invisible dimension, they're biting heads off. Not my head. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
The human body is one dimension in density.
I get it.
Water is the second dimension because it's like, water. Clouds is the third dimension because it's gas.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I do. So, how many of these are you saying that you're outside, you're looking through the trees, and you're literally seeing these beings kill each other?
Yeah, they like a tree. You know what a tree is? It's kind of like an octopus. If a spirit moves into the tree, the darn thing would just grab a hold of you. The trees are alive. I mean, it's kind of like when I go into a movie show and it's dark, I see human beings and they got these reptilian devils and demons standing over us and stuff, you know?
Wow. How do you deal? You know, Neil, I've got to head to a commercial here, and I want to get a couple of questions out really quick. How do you deal with this? Are you able to turn it off?
No, I'm fighting against them. I'm activate. What they're doing is they're eating the Holy Spirit. And what happens is it's like made of fire. It gives them energy. Like if you eat something that gives you energy,
mm-hmm.
Well, what they're doing is they're eating us and then activating it. I'm burning these candles, and all at once they just start gagging, and it's burning up inside of them and stuff. But see, I'm born March the 20th. I'm the 13th sign. I'm in between the 12th zodiac and the first zodiac. But I found out about my mother. She was born on the 27th, died on the 27th, and was 27 years old when she died. And she died on the 7th month, 27 of 67. So that's when I woke up at 43 years old. All them sevens, you see. But I've been wanting to get on your show to tell. I found some other stuff that I'm a field researcher. I went to Salt Lake City and seen a gigantic starship land in the Salt Lake with a little flying saucer flying right by it. You know, and I see aliens, invisible aliens too. They have technology. They could go into an accelerator and make themselves invisible, or wear an invisible cloak.
This is.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, man. My mind is working right with you. I'm imagining what you're seeing here. Now
but I could teach you how to see though.
I don't know if I want to see all that. I don't know if I want to see all that, Neil. That's almost too much. I don't even know how you deal with it.
Well, I was born on that day when I woke up and found out about my mother. You know, I saw a spirit moving along the ground, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, you know what? You were supposed to see, you know." So, but I wrote a book. I just didn't publish it because I got to tell people what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
If I die, no one's going to know.
Well, there's got to be somebody else out there that has your abilities, I would think.
Well, I met someone on Facebook, and he said he was seeing demons in the clouds. You could see them in the clouds. If you get on the internet and look faces up in the clouds, there's thousands and thousands of pictures of faces in the clouds. And now in Arizona, I did some stuff on the dinosaur stuff. They got dinosaur tracks in the mud that turn into stone.
Mm-hmm.
And they got dead dinosaurs that would turn into stone. And their feces would turn into stone. And the petrified forest is turning to stone. Well, I started looking around, and I saw these big, giant heads of humans, ancient humans that used to live with dinosaurs. So all that bull junk about, God just created us 10,000 years or 20,000 years, that's a lie. We're like billions and billions of years old. I got the proof. I found it.
Do you have a website?
And they got a... I'm on Facebook.
Okay, are you getting this stuff? I've got like 15 seconds here, Neil. This is all very interesting. You need to jump on Twitter and give everybody your information right there. You should do it. Are you on Twitter?
Well, I'm doing it on Facebook with you. I haven't did the Twitter thing yet.
Okay, yeah. Twitter's going to be big.
I'm on your...
Yeah, go ahead.
But I'm on the Facebook on your group, and I put my phone number on there. So we need to. I have a lot more other stuff. See, I've been doing field research. I've been finding a lot of stuff. I found 3 mountains that has 2 different kinds of aliens carved in the stone, and the dude looked like a Jedi, like a white person. This is in California.
Wow.
They used to have white people in California. All these giants that I'm seeing, they're white people. They're not American Indians. And then I found some stuff in Sedona, too.
And so
you're, ancient.
I don't have a Facebook group page, but maybe you're talking about one of the fan pages or something.
Yeah, the fan page.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. You need to go and get a Twitter account going and get posted here. Neil, I got to break for a commercial. That's very interesting, though, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Neil, interdimensional, invisible beings. Wow. It's incredible. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thank you, Neil. Going to take a quick break. It's Fader Night. I'll come back and we'll continue with the phone calls. It's open line. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carlson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing new Manna, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All new Manna products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the new Manna pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the new Manna banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Rhys Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader night. Open lines all night long. Earlier tonight, featured the premiere of Teresa Yanaros. That was pretty excellent. And thank you for all the positive feedback there. It was pretty cool. That, before I get to the phones, you guys are posting the picture. That is... obviously a miniature guitar. It is the guitar that's hanging on the wall, but it's a little miniature version of it. It's pretty cool. You got to see them side by side. It's pretty cool. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the phones. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Let's go to area code 814. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, John from Daisy, Washington, and Gaithersburg, Maryland. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. First-time caller, but a long-time fader. Super into rock and roll and the whole vibe you put out with that. And I love the musicians you follow, and you're really into some cool stuff.
Well, that's what, that's ultimately what this show is about. It's just whatever... I find interesting, and hopefully you do too, and that's what it's about, man. It's just about having fun and having a conversation and trying to figure out what is going on in this crazy world of ours. So what's on your mind tonight, John?
Hey, man, I live up in Daisy, Washington. I'm up actually in the extreme northeast part of the state, and I live on some acreage up here, about a little over 30 acres, but every night we have a UFO festival. I mean, when we first got here, it was, maybe a couple of different types, maybe once a week, twice a week, and now it's turned into every night. It's amazing here.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
And I've never been to, what's the place that is down in Southwest Washington there? You've been up there, the ranch?
Yeah, East Eddy Ranch. Been there a couple of times. Yeah, it's great.
East Eddy, yeah. I mean, I've seen some of the YouTube videos of the stuff those guys have going on there, and I'm telling you, we have the same and even more ridiculousness up here. It's amazing.
Are you shooting video?
It happens like every night.
I know it does. It does. Are you shooting video?
No, I don't have the ability to do that really, and what I do up here, I grow herbal medication up here, so I try to keep the place a little bit on a lower profile. But I mean, we see them every night. I've been able to get some really funky videos, but nothing with good quality.
Well, are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you should.
JPK 420.
Okay, so take some pictures and post them on Twitter. I would love to see them.
All right. Okay. We'll do that. We get probably, I mean, in the beginning, there's just a couple of different types. But now we have, I mean, we can't keep track of them anymore. We're up above probably 10 or more, a dozen of different types of them.
I know.
All the way from orbs to like really high altitude. Flying in formation and doing all kinds of crazy turns and stuff. And, I was in the military for quite a few years, so I'm a trained observer, and these are absolutely not conventional aircraft of any type.
Well, you're on 30 acres. It sounds like you've got your own version of ESETI going on up there.
That's what I was thinking, too. But, yeah, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to entertain many guests here.
Well, take some pictures, John. I want to see it, okay?
Will do, brother. And hey, what's your take on like Zakk Wylde? Are you fond of him at all?
Zakk Wylde, the guitar player?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Go over to Twitter. I'll post a picture of me and Zakk right now. Let me see if I can find it.
Really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah. He's cool. What do you think of Zakk Wylde?
I think he's amazing. I'm an ex-drummer. I played. I'm from Southern California originally. I played back in the day in the 70s, and then left there in the late 70s and 78, but right before that. So I have an appreciation for great lead guitar players for some reason, even though I'm a drummer. But yeah, Zakk Wylde is one of my guys. I mean, Steve Vai, Satriani, that type of player I'm into mostly.
Yeah, I'm posting it now. Me and Zakk. Zakk is amazing. And the first time, you know what? I'll tell you something really funny. The first time that I met Zakk I was probably 19. I'm going to go with 94, 93, right in there. And very, very humble guy. And I can't remember exactly the situation there, but very humble guy, very cool. And then, I got an opportunity to hang out with him a little bit more, but he is a real shredder. I mean, a real shredder. And I just appreciate his style. I think he's a really cool guy. I was able to, I'm posting a picture here. There we go. And I was able to, just like hang out with him and talk and play his guitars and there you go. I just posted it up in Twitter, and he's just a really cool dude. I think he's a very, very humble guy, and I think he's the real deal. I've always thought that about him. Very cool.
You ever thought about reaching out to him, trying to get him on the show?
I could. Sure. I could do that.
I mean, that'd be awesome. He, in a personal setting, where I can imagine the fun that guy would be on your show. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure he's had a few encounters. I'll do that. I'll reach out to him. All right.
That would be awesome.
John, have a great evening, my friend. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, thanks, Jimmy. It was great talking to you, and I'll get some pictures up there for everybody.
Yeah, post them. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Thanks to everyone. Thank you, Jimmy. Have a great night.
Thank you, John. 30 acres up in northwest Washington, which says to me, and if he's seeing stuff all night long, that's a little mini ESETI going on. Yeah, I know he is seeing stuff all night. Let's go to area code. Oh, what do we have next? 573. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. This is Rob from Dayton.
Rob from Dayton. How are you?
How are you?
I'm great. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. I'm talking to you. It's perfect. Just talked about Zakk Wylde, man. Zakk Wylde and UFOs. This is the best show and the best job in the world.
There you go. Well, except to my job. My job's a little bit better, but you're close.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You find your bliss, man. When you find your bliss, you're going to defend it.
That's right. So, actually, I wanted to call in and say that I really appreciate your show, and I appreciate what you do and the audience that you reach and what you do for them, providing them, such a you're a very positive and upbeat person, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for that, Rob. And, it's all with this show, it's community first. That's it. It's community first.
Yeah, I get it. So I was listening also to Teresa Yanaros tonight, and I think she did a great job. Absolutely spectacular, actually. She's up and coming, and she's going to be great. She's going to be she's going to stay in the community for a while, and she's going to be a star for a while.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Her message and the way that she looks at this planet and, understanding, compassion, emotion, and the advancement of self and looking forward and speaking to, her generation in their speak. And she's really good at what she does. And I thought she did great tonight. It was for anybody to come in on a show like this and take over and fill those shoes of Jon Rappoport. I can only imagine you're nervous and everything else. Everybody's listening. And, Jimmy and Rita are bringing you in, and so the expectations are high. But everybody's been following Teresa for a while, and they know her abilities and, how she speaks and what she's about. But nonetheless, she had to have been nervous and she did great. She did great. So there you go. Thank you for that.
I don't get to hear every show, but, what happened to Jon Rappoport?
It's just he's dealing with some personal stuff, and that's all. That's it. There's nothing more than that, and we wish him the absolute best, and there'll always be a place here for him, and there you go. It's like that. It's good. He was a member of this family for almost 2 years. And that's it. That's all I can really say.
Yeah. Well. Okay, I get it, and I understand what you're saying. I hope that whatever he's doing with it, he gets through it, and
that's it.
I hope we hear him on airwaves again.
Yeah, that's it. We got to send those vibes his way. Thank you for that, Rob, and I really appreciate the phone call. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you over on Coast on Saturday.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Great phone call right there. Yeah, Jon Rappoport. Everybody send the vibes John's way. Let's go to area code 917. You're up next.
Hey, Jimmy. It's Sarah Ann, and I'm in Wisconsin. How are you?
Hi, Sarah Ann. And now you're in Wisconsin. How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to call in and, I have kind of a heavy heart about the drama that's going on. And I'm really, really pleased that you're speaking up about it, because I know it's not easy, but when it comes to community, and this might upset people, but I want to share because maybe others are feeling like me. I sort of feel like there's not really community anymore. And I've been spending a lot of time, especially since waking up, looking for a place where I always felt safe and accepted, especially when I messed up. And it just feels like community is not really existing anymore, at least in the way that I want it to be. And I feel something brewing, and I just really appreciate that you're calling things out. And I think you're doing it in a really respectful way and lighthearted in the same way. And I just appreciate it. And I wanted to tell you that.
Thank you for that, Sarah Ann. And, it's important that we also put all of this into perspective where, and I mean this in a positive way, but this community is listening to others that are trying to influence them and influence their mind over UFOs. It's like, wait a minute. I think that aliens, ET contact, what has been going on this planet, what I have seen in the skies myself and witnesses and everything, I'm trying to figure this out, right? And it is probably the most important thing out there. You've got what happens after we die, right? And are we alone in this universe? Those are the two. And that stop, right? Are we actually fighting over UFOs and what people think and what people say? And you want to take that to the next level of craziness? Put it all in perspective. That's it. After that show last night, and Rita and I get home and we find out that just a few miles down the road, a little more than that, in Thousand Oaks, 12 people died in a bar. And this community, there are people in this community, or think they are part of this community, that want to tear this community apart. Just stop, man. Just stop. Just stop.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is that there are people trying to rip apart this community, and frankly, we're feeding into it. We're falling for it, hook, line, and sinker.
That's right.
If we're really conscious, we've got to get smart about what's going on. And, the thing is like the conscious community is huge, and the UFO community is only a very tiny tribe.
Tiny part.
Community that is waking up.
You are so right. And so right about that.
The thing is that Fadernaughts are a very small tribe within the UFO community, and we have to realize that a community brings together the different tribes with the goal of being united. And that means that we have to realize who we all are and what we really stand behind, knowing that there's going to be conflicts and that conflicts are healthy, but it's how we solve them. And I just think that we know what really is important. But if we can't communicate with one another, then UFOs don't matter, because disclosure, we're not ready for it. If we can't communicate with each other, how are we supposed to communicate with aliens?
I know, exactly. That's exactly right. Sarah Ann, thank you for that. Thank you. All right, I'm going to use that
welcome, and thank you.
I'll use it as a sound bite. I'll make you famous. I'll talk to you, Sarah Ann. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That's a great phone call right there. E.T. be tripping on us right now. And not on us, on the doofuses out there that are doing stupid stuff. They just laugh at them, man. Oh my God. Oh man, that was a great phone call. All right, where am I going now? Area code 717. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Ralph from Pennsylvania.
Hi, Ralph from Pennsylvania. How are you?
I'm just fine. I wanted to say first off that last night's show with Randall Carlson was just awesome.
The best.
I could listen to him and Graham Hancock talk about ancient stuff just like forever.
Yeah, we're going to have Graham on here. He's out doing his thing, but I'm going to tell you something that is just absolutely wonderful, is when you wake up in the morning and you're drinking your coffee and you go through your email and you've got an email from Graham going, dude, let's do a show. Right? How good is your day after that? Oh man, yeah. Graham's going to be with us soon. His new book, America Before, is I think it released in Europe. It's not releasing here in the States until April. And I'm bummed for everybody that everybody has to wait that long, but it's out, and I'm sure that there is a way to get it. It's only hardbound. I don't even know if it's only released in Europe and not here. Can you order it from Amazon in Europe and then have it shipped here? How does that work? I don't even know. You would think that once something is released these days, because of the global economy and Amazon and the internet and the ability to go and order stuff, that you can't really, but I guess so. That's it. I think it releases here April 23rd.
Yeah. Anyway, the real reason I called was about the recent Tic-Tac stuff. I guess it's been a year. It hasn't been that recent. All the Tic-Tac revelations. And I picked up on something from that I haven't heard anybody else touch on or emphasize.
What's that?
And that is that I got from Elizondo and all those people, that the people studying this phenomena and our military intelligence and our military, they're talking about advanced technology. They're not talking about hallucinations or flocks of birds or weather inversions or radar malfunctions, or, to me, it kind of takes the paranormal edge out of the UFO, at least a little bit.
Could be.
It seems to me like we're talking about nuts and bolts machines.
Right. The yes. Okay. Let me throw this out there. This is how twisted my mind is. Okay, this is how twisted my mind is.
Twist away.
The forget about the universe. Okay, let's just talk about our Milky Way, where we have approximately 200 billion stars. 200 billion. How many of those have planets? Virtually all of them. How many? Virtually all of them. Okay, so now we're talking about the possibility of, I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. So let's say out of 200 billion stars, let's go, I'll tone it down a little bit. Let's say there's 100 billion planets. How many of them are rocky and how many are, okay, so now let's pull that down. Maybe let's just say that there are 10 billion rocky planets in our galaxy. And now let's talk about the age of everything. So now let's just say that there is a possibility of 1 billion civilizations that are 500 million years older than us. And this is just round numbers. I'm just pulling out round numbers. So now when we talk now,
you know what?
But let me finish.
It only takes one.
That's what I'm trying to say here. So now, if and it's just a numbers game. So here's our planet here, and we are talking about a sighting, but there could be thousands and thousands of different species out there, different cultures that are checking out this planet, and all of their crafts are different. So some could be nuts and bolts, some could be traveling here, folding space, wormholes, some could be interdimensional. Some could figure out a way to travel through time and instantaneous travel, where there could be so many different types of crafts here on any given day. Now, before we even start to think like that, what do we have here? Well, let me just say this. We have Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Toyota, right? Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Tesla. These are different types of cars that all look different. Double-decker buses, right, in London. Different semi-trucks, pickup trucks, different types of, and that's on the ground. Everything looks different. And it could be the exact same thing with craft coming here. Tic-Tac, interdimensional, plasma, probe, spaceship, people on it, people not, whatever. And all of the different probes that we send around the solar system, they all look different. They all look different. Some have wheels, some don't, some crash, some don't. We're landing stuff on Mars with balloons and letting it bounce across. Because, if we were here and something like that happened here, what would we think? That they're all like that? No, that's just one. And that's the way I look at it. It's not limited to one specific species with only one type of craft. We're launching up Soyuz. We launch up right now we're not launching anything, but if you think about Gemini and Mercury and Apollo, the space shuttle, what the Russians are doing, what the Chinese are launching up there, and other countries around the world, different types of rockets, and the European space program, and we've got SpaceX. None of our stuff is the same. Everything that we shoot up is different than the previous one. So it's the same thing. That's what's visiting here. And that's my twisted way of looking at it.
Go Beckley Teppy.
I'll talk to you, Ralph. Thank you for the phone call.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good night. It's a good phone call right there. And I have got to, you know what? I just hung up on the wrong lines. Thank you so much for the phone call. Yes, you did. Have a great night. I just literally blew out a bank of phone calls right there. I apologize for that. And everybody's just got to call back. I built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry about that. I'll be right back. This is Fade to Black.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com. Dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from River Moon. Just click on the River Moon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Sorry about that. I'm tweeting at the same time. I'm doing the best that I can. Let's go to area code. First time caller. Area code 605. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, is this Jimmy?
Yes.
I'm on the air. Okay. I had just sent you the tweets, and I was interested in this gentleman that was talking about he could see into different dimensions and that they were invisible. There is some truth to that, but when you're seeing those evil entities, it's usually because you're opening up dark portals, and you can bring. From what my uncle talked to me about, he said we're bringing in dark entities, and that's usually when your mind isn't clear. You're not in the right frame of mind. You have to be completely detoxed from any kind of a chemical, like what Corey says and Emery says. Emery's like, don't put toxins in your body, you know, because that's a way for the cabal, that's a way for them to mess with you. And that's very true. So my uncle, that's very traditional, and he's in his 70s. He told me that, and he expressed that's true. You're opening dark portals. So when he talks about traveling into dimensions, I can do that through going through thunderstorms that I didn't understand that's what was really happening. But when I would go through these thunderstorms, I would get put in these dimensions, and I would try to like go see my family, and they wouldn't be home. Well, I didn't understand that. I didn't know I was there to fix a problem. And I was shown that I was going to my reservation to help. There was suicides going on. They were fighting each other. And I went there, and a lot of people were talking about this tall man. And so I went out and I prayed. The tribal police blocked off all the entrances. It was like they knew I was coming there or something. I don't know. I was still trying to figure that out. I went and sat out on a gravel road for about 3 hours, and I started talking to Star Nation and calling on them and saying, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I here? I was there for 5 days, Jimmy, and when my daughter texted me and said I was gone for a month, that's when I was like, oh, my God, like something
Say what? Whoa, whoa,
weird.
Whoa. What did you just say?
Okay, so I went to the reservation. In July, this ship came to Rapid City. I was with my nephew. I had put this on some of your tweets. We followed this ship, and it took us to this neighborhood, and it was about 9-10 o'clock at night. We went to this neighborhood, and there was like a house party going on, or something was going on. There was like music. Something was happening. There was kids playing. So I pulled up, and we got out of the car, and I'm like, okay, this ship brought us here. Like, what are we doing here? And we went there. I peeked through the fence, and I seen lights, like orbs, moving around in the backyard. There was no humans. There was nobody talking there. And so I got scared, ran back to my car, got some sage, and I smudged myself off, and I started praying, and my nephew was getting scared. He's like, let's go. I said, no, they're trying to show us something. I said, they're trying to show me something. I got to stay here. So we stayed there for about an hour and a half. I went up to the door to go find out, like, what's going on here. This lady came out that was tall. She had long hair, and she came up to me before I could get to the door, and she stopped me, and I said, hey, this ship brought us here. These lights brought us here. I said, what's going on? And she goes, we're having a neighborhood party. And I said, oh, well, where's everybody at? And she's like, they left. And I was like, whoa, like I was tripping out. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. My heart started beating fast. I was getting scared. I'm like, where are we? I said, where are you from? And she's like, here. I said, where? And she goes, here. And I said, okay. And she goes, where are you from? I said, I'm from Spearfish. And she goes, don't they have these lights there? And I said, no, they do. But I said, there's too many hills around us to see them. And she goes, well, I live right there. She goes, anytime you want to come in and enjoy these lights with me, she goes, you can come sit on the deck with me. I'm always here. There was no humans on the street. There was no cars had left. There wasn't even no cars in front of this house. So I walked back down to where my car's parked, and my nephew's standing there, and I said, holy shit, we need to get out of here. I said, let's go. So we left. Well, after that, the next 2 days later, that's when I went to the reservation. And I was traveling through a thunderstorm. There was cars following me all the way up there. I knew I was being followed, but I didn't know why. I got up to the reservation, and there was all these really nice RVs parked, and that's not normal for my reservation. I mean, there's not that kind of money there. And there was satellites and stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm being followed. There's a reason why I'm here. So I started talking to people in the community. I started talking with medicine people, and they were telling me all the suicides that were going on and just all these problems that were happening. And so that's when I went to the police department, and I said, I need something weird's going on here. I didn't even know why I was there. They wouldn't even put me in contact with, like, the head person of the police department. So I didn't really question it. That's when I went out of town, and I sat out there for about 3 hours on that gravel road, and I talked to Star Nation. I communicate with them. And I was like, what am I doing here? Like, what's going on here? And that's when they told me there's a dark entity on this reservation and we need to get it out. And the way we're going to get it out is by performing a ceremony. Like, you have to do the ceremony. So I went and got 2 medicine men to do their ceremonies, and then I went out and did mine. And when I was doing it in the elderly community, all these cars out of nowhere were pulling up like they were watching me. So I did the ceremony, and all these they're parked right above us, Jimmy. They are here. They're right above us. They watch us. And so anyway, I did my prayer and I did how I do things. And then about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, this huge thunderstorm comes through. I mean, just like it's like a tornado almost. And it woke me up, and I was peeking out, and the dust was flying around. I'm like, geez, what's going on here? So I go close all the windows, and I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird. Get up the next morning. Everything is crisp, bright, clear. I text my daughter, and I say, hey, can you come get me? I need you. Can you come get me? And because my car ended up getting impounded. So anyway, she goes, geez, she's like, Mom, she's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm on the res. And she's like, well, you've been gone for like a month.
Oh,
and I said,
man.
No, I haven't. I said, I just got here on Sunday. This was on a Friday, Saturday. And I said, are you sure? And she's like, yes. I mean, she'll validate this for you that she told me that. And I said, holy crap. I took that text, and I showed it to one of the elder spiritual men that was working with me. I said, look, I've only been here not even 5 days. And my daughter said, I've been gone for a month. And I started crying. I go, what's going on? And he goes, are there more of you that are coming here to help us? And I said, I don't know. I said, I got to get home. When I left to come home, I came back through I was coming through Timber Lake and Isabel in that area. It's a rural area. There was another thunderstorm going through, and then I believe that's when I traveled through it and came back to Spearfish. When I came back to Spearfish, everything was a little bit different here, Jimmy. It was like there was new vans here. There were I just know I grew up in this community since 1984. There were new vehicles. Everything was new. People were smiling at me, waving at me, and it was just like I had all this security around me, and I'm like, what is going on? It's so different here. And it's just like my life has never been the same. That movie, Arrival, is my information that was stolen and made into a Hollywood movie. Every single thing in that movie I live right next to a college. I'm a block away from the university. She was a professor at a university. She said there was 12 pods that came down. They never came down. They're sitting right above us. They communicate with me through symbols, and they communicated through her through the movie with symbols on the window.
Right.
And the message they gave to me was about humanity. Like, they told me, you have to go out there and start working for humanity. I live right by Ellsworth Air Force Base. It's 40 miles from here. And they're like, we don't want nuclear war. They cannot be. If anybody uses nuclear weapons, they will wipe out that whole race. That whole race that's going to use nuclear, they'll wipe them out. And so I was like, who do I tell this to? Who do I keep this? But in that movie, it's like they were right about everything in that movie, except for they changed things around. And when I started figuring it out, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm the one that has been making contact with them, and they've been doing symbols for me up in the sky for the last 3 years. And in September, I was up at the university. I was walking home, and I was starting to feel like nobody was going to believe me. So I went and laid on this bench, and I looked up, and I just started talking to them. And I asked them, I said, is this, like my ancestors? Is this you guys? Is this you out there that's talking to me and helping me? Please tell me, validate this for me. If it is, make a heart for me, please, and tell me that you're protecting me. And no lie, man, it started that dot, that whatever it was, started moving around, and it went way up to the top right, and it came way down. We're talking maybe miles big out there, but to me it was like as big as 2 football fields. And it came down, and it stopped, and then it went up to the left, and it made this weird connection back over to where it started from. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is us in the future that is communicating with me. And then once they did that and they told me that they would protect me, that's when I went public, and I just started hitting, researching. I started listening to Corey. I started listening to Emery, and everything Emery talked about, I was like, he's right. He's absolutely, everything he's talking about I can do in natural form. All this time traveling, how they cloak, how you can blink. The message they gave to me is that they told me in 3 to 5 years, we're in judgment days, in the next 3 to 5 years, and it's all like what Corey and Laura talk about, clearing your karma. You have to clear, you get to be your own judge here. and you clear your karma for the next 3 to 5 years, you get to the heaven on earth is getting to ascend to the next higher frequency where you're going to be given more technology from them that you get to use. The ones that don't clear their technology or their karma in the next 3 to 5 years will be stuck here in the duality of their own hell. That is hell. And I was like, oh my gosh, like there is no heaven and hell, you know, like holy crap, who do I tell this to? Who do I explain this to? So I just started researching Corey, and I just started hitting the airwaves. I mean, doing what I could to get on the media, and I was like, okay, I got to get out there. I went to this street thing that they were doing downtown. I was just walking downtown. Everything they were doing down there was Native American, and it was like they were waiting for me to come downtown. I was like, holy crap, like I felt like they were watching me, and I'm like, and they were smiling at me, and I'm like, okay, they all know that I'm here. Who are these people? Are they really my people in my community? And the one person that I knew that was sitting downtown at that festival was a retired U.S. Air Force. His name is Jim Klansnick, and he's a retired Air Force guy, but he does UFO investigations for our state. Well, I went and sat with him, and I talked to him, and I was telling him, I go, they're here. I was like, they're in human form. And he goes, they are. He goes, they're all here. They're coming here all the time. I go, I can bring them here. And he's like, how? I said, I don't know. I can just, when they're ready to come here, I can pray and then help them get through, and then they come into a human form. He goes, they know about you. I said, who? And he goes, they do. He goes, you're on the radar. And I said, who, the government? And he goes, all of them. Goes,
let me jump in really quick. Who is the Star Nation?
The Star Nation is the extraterrestrial race that's out there. That's who the Native Americans have always communicated with since the beginning of time.
And where is Spearfish?
Spearfish is on the edge of the Black Hills. There's the Ellsworth Air Force Base in Rapid City, which is about 46 miles from here. We're on the very north part of it. And we were told our Native American culture has always known that the Black Hills has all that gold in it, and we're supposed to be the heart. It's before NASA ever went up and took pictures, they've always said the Black Hills was the heart of Mother Earth.
And I just wanted to look and see exactly where we're talking about here. I'm looking at Ellsworth, and yeah, that's pretty remote.
They're here. I mean, and I was in Rapid City one night, and these people were like chasing me around. I thought, I didn't know what it was. I just knew I was being followed, and I wasn't sure. So I went out and I smudged down, and I went up on top of one of the highest points in Rapid City. I was with my boyfriend at the time, and then two of my friends, they were in the house, but we were sitting out in the driveway, and I saw that light up there, and it was just like twinkling, and it was coming closer, and I took my binoculars out, and I looked at it, and I started telepathically talking to it. I was like, okay, like, what are you, you know, like, come down here. And as I was calling it down here, within like 10 minutes, it came into our atmosphere. It dropped 3 orbs from that ball of lights. Those orbs went into the street lights, Jimmy. They went into the orange street lights. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I was a little bit more than that. I was kind of actually scared. I kind of started crying. I was like, oh my God, you know, like what is going on? And then that ball of lights, when it came down, I started praying. I was like, okay, you know, I'm getting scared. Like because I thought it was going to take us. It turned into a massive ship. That's where I know that some of these people, like Emery's talking about, they have invisible ships. They can turn into solid mass. All of what he says is true. And it turned into a ship, but I couldn't see the actual solid ship, but I could tell that at the outline of the darkness of the cloud or the sky, it was a ship. And then it kicked on its engines, and it started descending. It came all the way down to the skyline of Rapid City, and it had 2 pink lights on the back end of it. And I was like, okay, Mom, because my mom passed away. And I said, okay, Mom, I was like, is that you guys? Like, is that you in the spirit world? Or like, who are you guys? And when I asked, those lights flickered, like really flickered, and I was like, okay, that's my mom and them, like that's our ancestors. That ship took off and it flew towards Ellsworth, and then out of nowhere, Jimmy, it just boom, it was gone. And I was like, wow, like they're,
wow.
I mean, just unbelievable. I cannot believe what I'm even telling you I've experienced. And I have a lot of people that will, in my community, my friends, that will back me up and say, you know, she's really into this and she's waking people up. And Laura's actually the one that really woke me up. And she told me, she said, your North Node and your South Node, Teresa, are very in line. She's like, you know why you came from your past life. You know why you're here. You're an elder, and you've been here many times. And she said, you're a warrior, but you're also a healer. You get hurt, but you keep quiet. You go lick your wounds, you heal yourself, and you learn from it. She goes, the cabal cannot play the game with you no more. You're on to them. And when they do stuff, they pull on your grounding cord. She goes, your electrical cord. You catch on right away. You figure the game out. You solve it, and they can't get to you no more. She goes, you're on their radar, and they are watching you. She was like, but just know you have the upper hand. She said I had these 3 planets that were in alignment with me, that were protecting me, and these asteroids were protecting me. She goes, they can't get to you. She goes, you're fine. She goes, but just figure it out quick and fast when they start playing games with you, okay? And I was like, okay. She goes, gosh, she gave me an hour reading for a half hour. She goes, gosh, I could talk to you for so long, Teresa. She goes, but I have to get going. I'm leaving on a trip. She goes, stay in contact with me. And I was like, all right, I will. And I've never been able to get back, really talk to her again. But she's woke me up, and then she started talking about Corey Good, and she started talking, and so I started with Corey. Last week when I was really watching Corey and watching some of your guys' shows and listening to them, that picture that I just tweeted to you, that guy that's on there came to me last week in a dream, and he was sitting on a ship with me, and he was telling me something, or he was giving me some technology of something, and I kind of got scared because I knew I was in something that was just scaring me in my dream. So I woke myself up. It was around 3:00 in the morning. I was laying there in bed, and I was like, my heart was beating. I was like, what is it? What did he do to me? What did he show me? What? I couldn't recall. And I was like, oh, he gave me technology. As soon as I said that, my old cell phone that I haven't used in 2 weeks, it beeped. It just beeped out of nowhere. And I was like, okay, they're validating it for me. So Friday or Saturday, that's when I dreamt about that. On this weekend, I also dreamt that I was moving through an electrical, maybe Corey, maybe Emery know about this. I was moving through an electrical blue web, and I went through it, and then I realized I had gone through it, and I didn't know where I was. I started getting scared, and I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. I'm scared. I literally pulled myself back out slowly, and I opened my eyes, and I was like, whoa, what did I just do? Like, where the hell did I go? And I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta reach contact with these people and ask them what's happening to me, like what's going on. And then last night, I dreamt that I was laying on this ground, and this mothership, I was looking up, and there was all these ships flying around up there, and I was like, what's going on? Like, why are they here in my dream? This mothership came down, and it scooped up my whole community with like these big, long claws, not really claws, but they were like antennas. There was probably like 8 of them, and it just scooped up the whole ground. And when it pulled us into the ship like that, I was laying on the bottom of the ship, and it was all invisible, and I was looking down at the ground. I was like, where are we going? Like, holy crap, like where are we? Like, what's happening? I started getting scared. I'm like, where are they taking us? And I woke up. I woke myself up, and I was laying there again, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, what's going on with me? Like, I need to talk to somebody or get put under therapy, hypnosis, and find out what's happening, because they're making it loud and clear to me that they're with me. They are watching me. I mean, the more I say it, this Twitter bell keeps going off. But
yeah, I'm watching Twitter right now because of you. But
but it's real. It's everything. I validate what Corey and Emery are talking about. It's all real. They can cloak, and they can transform into human masses. They are here in my community in Spearfish. That retired Air Force man that's a friend of my family's and a UFO researcher, investigator, validated that they are here watching me, and also the government's watching me, and everybody's watching me. And I'm like, why? And then this other guy that went to Mount Shasta this summer, he told me, he's like, Teresa, you got to get to Mount Shasta. I said, I don't need to go there. They're right here. I said, I don't need to go somewhere else to see them. I can call them right here. And then I realized that I'm working with 4 different races. I'm working with those blue avians, I'm working with these orbs, I'm working with the Anshire and the Palladians. Those are the 4 races that I have been validated with, that I'm in communication with. And so with that being said, it's really interesting for me to be able to speak about this, and I get technology that I've foreseen that Donald Trump was going to be president when he first started running in January. I called it in February. I said, he's going to win. He's going to be our next president. It's like they give me this technology to solve problems. Instead of dwelling on the issue, I can get to the problem. Let's fix it. Let's solve it. They have given me technology that when I spin around in a circle and I'm meditating, it's like whatever I'm doing while I'm meditating and I'm spinning that, it's like I can make the clouds disappear. I can make the sun come out. And it's the moon isn't a bad. I heard him saying like the moon was something on these other places, but the moon is actually very powerful. And at nighttime is the best time to be out, because that's when all the technology frequency levels down, and that's when you can make communication with them. So there's so much more going on. I watched the Missouri River in South Dakota literally, Jimmy, evaporate right in front of my eyes and go up into the clouds.
Well, Teresa, let me jump in really quick. I want to say, I know you found our family and our community and the show, and that's great. And you got a lot off your chest in the last half hour, and you can tell I will never end somebody's thought. And I just sat here and just went through all of this. But I wanted to ask you this. I've got to go to a commercial. When you were missing for that month, did your family file a report?
No. They knew that I was on the res. They knew I was on the reservation. They just thought I was up there for a month.
Oh, I got you. And which reservation? I was just looking at all of...
Standing Rock. From Standing Rock.
There's so many reservations right around you right there. I'm looking at it on the map. And you never know what's going on at Ellsworth. That's a big base. And I could see E.T. being interested in there. And you said that craft flew over towards Ellsworth. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting. Yep. Well, listen, you're part of the community, and I just retweeted you out to everybody, and they're listening to you now. So I'm sure that.
I'm on the actual radio. Okay.
You've been live on the air for the last 25 minutes.
I thought you just answered the phone, and I was like just talking with you. I don't have my earbuds on. I'm not listening to the show right now. I'm just talking to you. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, hello everybody.
You thought we were just...
Everything is real. Everything is real that Corey and Emery talk about. And one day I would like to be able to meet with them and talk with them about some of the technology that Emery talks about. I can validate that I can use it in the actual human form. Like I can go through all that. I can use it. I don't know why I'm chosen to be... I don't want to say chosen, but why I have the DNA to blimp in and out. But from the history that I have from my family is that these extraterrestrials have been visiting our family bloodline all the way back to my grandfather.
Thank you for the phone call, Teresa.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And now you can play this back for everybody. Yeah, you've been live on the air this whole time. Thank you so much, Teresa.
Awesome. Thank you, Jimmy. Yep.
Enjoy your weekend. You too.
All right. Thank you. Yep. Bye-bye.
She didn't think she was on the air. She thought we were just having a phone call. Huh? You never know what's going to happen on Fader Night. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. If you are on hold, stay right there. I'll get to everybody, if I can, after this short break. Stay with us.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing new Manna, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All new Manna products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the new Manna pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the new Manna banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi folks, CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of new Manna Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the new Manna banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. That was a great phone call to Rita. I love Thursday nights. Fade to Black, speaking with all of you. I went down the hall into Rita's studio. I said, wow. She goes, this is why we do this show. What an amazing night. And I said, you're absolutely right. This is why we do it right here. All right, let's go back to the phones. I'm looking at the clock. This is our last segment. I just wish I could hang out all night with all of you. Let's go to area code 805. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
This is Chloe.
Hi, Chloe. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay.
A little troubled.
Why?
Okay. I'm having difficulty believing all of my experiences are real.
Why?
I've seen the sphere. I've seen the spheres in my house. I've seen the 8-foot-tall mantid being standing next to my desk.
Right.
I've seen the angelic being that created amazing feelings of intense love and bliss. I've had a whole lifetime of paranormal, spiritual, and psychic experiences, and yet I question everything.
And you should.
Right.
And you should. And you should. And you should. You know, and I want to hear more about this, but I have a mug that a friend of mine gave me years ago. His name's Walter. Walter gave me a mug that says "Question Everything" on it, and I don't have it here in the bunker right now, but I have it. As a matter of fact, Chloe, on our last season of our TV show on History Channel, when you go and watch it, you'll see that "Question Everything" mug, and I take it with me everywhere on the set, right? Right there, drinking coffee out of it. Question everything. You know, I've seen things that are real, right? They're real, but I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm trying to figure this out just like you are. So,
right. I mean, knowing that we have voice-to-skull technology, knowing that we have holographic technology,
right?
Knowing that we have technologies that we're not even aware of,
right?
I question everything. I question things like they would also have to have the technology, though, to read my mind. I'm like, do they have that technology? I don't know. I don't know if they do, because when you think of something and then it comes to fruition and other people also see it, it's kind of like, in order to create that, then someone would have to be reading my mind, but they'd have to be reading my mind all the time. This is what my husband and I were talking about today. I'm like, someone's not assigned to me to read my mind all the time.
Right. And this is what's really crazy. To me, this is what is nuts. The ability. When you think about how many people are on the internet right now, you and I are talking, right? How many people are on the internet right now? Well, obviously, there isn't one person for every person that's on the internet to monitor what everybody's doing on the internet, right? I'm just giving you an example. So,
right.
You know, if there are, let's say right now as you and I are talking, that there are 1 billion people on the internet, okay? Well, or half of the United States right now. Half of the United States, right? There's probably 150 million people in the United States right now on the internet. Well, there's not 150 million people to monitor what they're doing. But,
exactly.
But the computers can.
And that's what I was going to say.
That's, you know, and so when we stop to think about this, the machine learning and everything else that is able to monitor, well, there could be other things out there, too, monitoring us that have nothing to do with this planet. Think about that for a second.
So. I hope there are other things out there that have nothing to do with this planet, because if all of this was created and generated by somebody on the planet, that's terrifying. And, you know, when I first had a communication where I was told, when I was walking home, I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was told I would always be cared for. Now, this is after, you know, I had years of what I thought were dreams, like from 5 to 7, of being on a table with these beings moving around me. And I thought they were dreams my whole life until about, a little over 2 years ago. And I'm like, oh, crap, that was real.
Right.
And it was only because that's when I really started researching this. I kept trying to figure out what the blue orbs were that my husband and I had seen. And that's what led me into it being related to extraterrestrials, because I was never into extraterrestrials. I was never into UFOs. I had a passing interest in it, but I was into psychic, spiritual, paranormal things because that's that was my experience. So I thought. Now I'm kind of wondering if a lot of it, if they're real, if most of it is associated with them. Someone was talking about invisible beings. Now, my husband and I both experienced this for months, like a few years back. We would hear someone walk down the front hallway. The dogs would start barking and get up. There's nobody there.
Right.
This went on for like a few months at least. So most recently, we've got this little white orb that goes through the house, and I saw it, and my husband saw it, and my son, who's never seen anything, saw it. And I'm like, well, okay, it's real. So, but, you know, I've got this history of seeing these things, and I'm like, is this something that's being generated? You know, I don't watch television for the reason that I don't want to be programmed. So if somebody's on television, I have no idea. You know, I really don't even know, aside from Fade to Black, who you are. And I'm sorry if that's offensive, because I really don't. I don't know people on TV. I don't watch television. So when...
Well, see, but Chloe, this is what is interesting, and I do want to thank you for the phone call. It takes a lot of courage to call into a show like this and speak about this. But imagine this for a second. There are people out there that don't experience what you're experiencing, and they think that life is what it is, that there's nothing else. There's no life after death. There is no... that we're alone in the universe, that dreams aren't real, that there's nothing but getting up in the morning, going to work, coming home, watching a little television, eating some dinner, going back to bed, and waking up and doing it all over again. And they don't question anything. Now, that you have had the experiences that allow you to go, well, you know what? There's something going on here.
Right.
And I need to figure it out.
Going on.
That's right. And how wonderful is that? You've been blessed. It's great.
Well, I used to feel like I had been blessed. And I used to feel very fortunate to have these experiences. But now that I have begun to question everything, I'm very troubled by this. And I'm going to give you a major example of something that happened that would show you, like, it should prove to me that it's not anything man-made, but it doesn't. When my husband and I started dating, I asked for a sign if he was the one. If he's the one I've been waiting for, that I had been promised, if he's my soulmate, I want a sign. And this is just in my head, you know. I'm like, I want to see an arrow in the sky. And then I let it go, you know. We're driving to get married. On February the 12th, we were driving from the Phoenix area to San Luis Obispo to get married so we could be around his family. And I look up, and there's an arrow, a perfect white arrow. And I said, do you see that? And he's like, yeah. And I go, what is it? And he said, that's a white arrow. I go, it's a perfect white arrow. He goes, yeah. It had straight lines. It wasn't puffy clouds. It was a straight lined arrow pointing right at the moon.
Right.
And then right after he saw it, it started to disperse and it was gone. And I said, no one's ever going to believe this. And he goes, it doesn't matter. We saw it. So, you know, if it's not something to do with them or something spiritual, then that's terrifying.
But how wonderful is that? I mean, it's just confirmation. And, you know, you're talking about, you know, these blue orbs, and I had never experienced the orb thing, right? At least not, you know, I saw pictures and finally when it happened to me and I had, this is what was nuts. I thought I had something in my eye, right? And I'm sitting with a bunch of people, and it's at night, and I'm looking out. I don't want to tell the whole story; it'll take up too much time. But I'm looking across this field, and I see this orb manifest and go from a little tiny thing to the giant. You know, it's like 50 feet, and I'm looking at it, And I rubbed my eyes, and I just thought I had a floaty in my eye. And I thought, but it's still there, you know? And this lady behind me says, is anybody looking at that orb out there? And I went, what? Now, and everybody saw it, and then it just faded away, by the way. Just like, then it was gone. But I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was E.T., if it was a ghost, if it was some interdimensional being or animal or something from another dimension. I don't know. I have no clue, but I do know that what I saw was real. It was real. Now, that's when you have to just step back and start to question everything. You know?
Right.
That's it.
When we saw these orbs, and then they went into my body, and then they came back after that, and they went into my body like at least 3 more times. And it's like, what? You know, the energy was real. This is real energy that I'm feeling in my body. But then, of course, I know, because I am curious about everything, that certain frequencies and vibrations can cause you to feel things in your body that aren't really happening.
Right.
Sometimes I think we're just playing a virtual reality game. You know, I'm like, and I'm going to take off the headset and I'm going to be like, wow, that was a trip.
Well, you know, you're right, Chloe. You're right. And, you know, next Thursday night, I want you to call back in, and I have more questions. We're at the end of the show, and I've got other calls I got to get to, but I have some other questions for you. So why don't you call back next week, and we'll take this thing to the next level. I'm here for you.
If I'm available, I will call in next week.
Absolutely. We'll figure this out together, okay?
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too, Chloe. Be safe out there. It's all good. Don't trip, okay? It's all good.
Okay.
Enjoy it. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you. Thank you, Chloe.
Bye.
Bye. That's a great phone call right there. And wow. You know, what I want to know is the communication with those blue orbs, and that's what I'm going to get to next Thursday. You watch. Thank you, Chloe. I'll see you next Thursday. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live right now. Area code 952.
Hi, this is Annie. How are you, Jimmy?
Hi, Annie. I am great. How are you doing?
Good. You're going to make me follow those last 2 calls?
I know, right? That's tough. That's
you
tough.
need those women on at the same time on a show. That was amazing.
That was so cool. So cool. So what's on your mind, Annie?
Well, I wanted to get back to this whole idea of what you talked about at the beginning of the show yesterday about why are people so filled with hate?
Why? You tell me.
And I've had a pretty good beat on it only because I've gone through some experiences that get me to this point. You know, we're all born innocent, right? Mm-hmm. And we all have different financial backgrounds, and our society has impact on us, and our cultures, et cetera. But what is really making us different, I think, is our DNA. There are some people who are actually born to be more insecure, more controlling, more of takers, and more fear-oriented. And then there are people that are more secure and accepting and giving and loving. And I really think it comes down to those basic kinds of DNA. Obviously, the people who are more secure and accepting and loving are those who, like yourself or Dave Wilcock or other people in the community, that want to bring information to people and want to give to them. And then there are other people who just want to sit back and bully people. And they're the ones that are insecure. And they don't have as many coping skills, and they are hardwired a certain way. And we really shouldn't blame them. But it doesn't really solve the problem.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So they are in search of friends, validation, recognition.
Yep.
Is that that's a very, very interesting point, because if they didn't,
they seek you out.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
and if they didn't stir the pot, then they're, and if it's their way of getting people to recognize them. That's a very interesting take. Wow.
They don't have any other way to do it.
Wow.
They don't have that positive way. So, because they're too insecure, they take the negative way.
Wow.
And I think if we can solve that with biochemists or neurologists or whomever, we can solve the problem of this planet. And I think it boils down to, do you hate other people? Do you love other people?
But what happens if people start to recognize that and they start ignoring them? then they're going to be bummed out, and maybe we would
and get worse.
Yeah, right. Annie, you
That's
are
why we
smart.
have to accept them as well and love them as well, and ask the hard questions. How can I help you instead of how can I hate you?
Oh man, Annie, you're a breath of fresh air. Thank you for that.
Of course, Jimmy, I'm glad to be here tonight. I just loved your show last night. Let me tell you, that got me going.
Yeah, thank you so much, Annie. Be safe and be well. We'll see you Saturday over on
You too,
Coast to
Jimmy.
Coast. Thank you so much.
Take care.
You
Bye-bye.
too. It's a great phone call right there. Let's just go to area code 910. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening, Mr. Church.
Good evening. Who's this?
My name is Daniel. I tweeted at you last night while you're speaking to Mr. Carlson, and I reminded you to not let him forget about the recot structure.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. I wrote it down. Did you see me write it down?
I was looking at a different tab at the time because I use a PC, but you did mention that.
I did. Hold on. I have my notes right here from last night. Okay, I'm holding it up to the camera right here. Recap structure right there. Wrote it down. See, holding it up. See, does everybody see?
Yeah, there's like a
right
5-second delay, so I see you doing that right now.
Okay, that was you.
I did also. I apologize for interrupting you. I did tweet at you about the Yucatan Peninsula, and I mentioned that there's like an island of sand dunes, like 65 miles north of Yucatan. The coastal town of Progreso, I believe, just like the
soup?
tomato soup or whatever.
Okay, let me see if I can find it right here. So it's Progreso, Mexico, right?
Yucatan. If you just do Google Maps Yucatan, YUC, I'm spacing that spelling out now.
I got it right here.
So
okay.
You go to the satellite, and then just 65 miles north of that, there's like barely 20-mile square island. And you zoom up on that, not entirely, because you need to see into the ocean.
Oh,
on the north and the east side.
Yes.
There's like
yes.
90-degree angles of cones. And we're always taught, like, nature doesn't build stuff in straight lines. So I was like, okay. After listening to him talk about, like, the Ice Age, you do the Ice Age map, and you go and you see that would be above water. So I wanted to ask, like, okay, if you had infinite amounts of money in a boat and you could go underwater archaeology, like, do you expect that you would find a Mesoamerican city underneath of all that sediment? Because you were even asking, like, why don't people focus more on Mesoamerican stuff?
Right.
And I just wanted to hear your comments on that, like the possibilities of what we might find there, if anything at all.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something else that's really, really trippy, okay? And I've got this marked, and I'm going to go and look at this. But if you go, I'm going to tell you something really bizarre, okay? And anybody can go and check this out. I was going to go do a whole investigation on this, and I might take it another step further now that you've reminded me. But if you go over to Baja, California, right, the peninsula, and you go all the way down to the tip, and you find a city called La Paz, and then on the other side is Sinaloa, and you find another city called I'm going to zoom in here so I can find the exact city. Man, I can't pronounce these names, but Villa Juarez, Tabari, okay, and Isla, I can't even say it, but Tabari, and you back out, and right there in this section. And Loreto is another town on the west, right? There's an airport in the water. There is a frigging airport at the bottom of the Baja Peninsula, and it's about 50 miles long. And if this isn't an airport, you can see the runways, there's turnarounds, it's rectangular. And that isn't some crazy anomaly that is created by Google satellite. This is a structure. And it's clear as day. It's right there, and it's about a third of the way up the Gulf of California, and it's in between these two cities. And you've got to go and look at it in between Laredo and Villa Juarez on the other side, and just go and look. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. And for somebody not to want to investigate this or wonder what this is, if that isn't an ancient airport and city that is sunken under the water, I don't know what is, but that is clear evidence of something right there. And I think everybody should go and look at it.
I just got back to my computer because I went outside so I wouldn't get the interference. What were the towns that, like, on land currently that you told me to look at? So
all you got to do, just go to the Gulf of California, Baja California, and Sinaloa, and right there's the Gulf of California, and about a third of the way up, about 100 miles north of the tip, Cabo San Lucas, you just go up and roll in on Google satellite, and it's right there. It's absolutely right there. It's crazy. I don't even know what to make of it. I'll take a screenshot of this right here, and I'll post it up on Twitter, and then you can go and look at it after the show. Okay?
I greatly appreciate you for your time and attention, sir. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. What was your name again?
My name is Daniel, and I believe I tweeted at you so that my middle and last name aren't revealed here.
Okay, yeah, you don't have to do it here. But, yeah, just go look at the Gulf of California, man. It is crazy. It's about a third of the way up. And the object that I'm talking about here, I'm looking at the scale. It's 50 miles long and 20 miles wide. It's rectangular, and just go look for an airport. That's exactly what it looks like. And I'll post screenshots of it right now. Thank you so much.
All right. You're very welcome. Good night.
Have a great night. And with that, I've got to wrap this show. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to grab a screenshot of this, and I'm going to post this up on Twitter so I don't forget. And I'm going to do this now. I don't know what it is. I truly don't. But this looks like, and I'm going to do the scale here. I'm going to make sure I get everything in. For the love of me, this looks like an airport in the Gulf of California. That's what it looks like. And so I'm going to call this Gulf and watch this. I've got 30 seconds to get this done. And I'm going to post this up in Twitter. You tell me. I'm going to hang out here in the bunker for a few minutes after the show, and you tell me what I'm looking at. That's all. That's it. Here we go. Airport in the Gulf of California. And you tell me. I don't know. I really, everybody, I don't know. And I was goofing around and found this. And zoomed in, and I spent about a week trying to investigate this and figure out what I was actually looking at here. And it looks like, I don't know. I spent so much time looking at images under the water. Obviously, this goes back to the Malibu base. And when I found this, I was going up and down the coast, and I was trying to look at and trying to find duplicates of the Malibu underwater base. And then I found this. I don't know what to make of it. You tell me. What do you think it is? Now, I've told everybody where it is. You can look at the cities here. There it is. It's clear. There's the Gulf of California. It's right above Cabo San Lucas. It's in between Baja California and Mexico. And there's the cities. There's the location, and you can see the sides. It's about 50 miles by 20 miles. And that, to me, looks like an ancient airport of some kind. And it looks like everybody's got it up there. And you tell me, yeah, that is odd, isn't it? I'm looking at everybody's reactions. You tell me. I have no clue. But that is interesting right there. So there you go. I'll put all of you Fadernauts on this. You guys go check it out. Blow it up, get your screenshots, look at it in Satellite Pro, too, as well. And with that, I'm going to get out of here. I've got a great weekend lined up over on Coast to Coast AM, And I'll see you there both Saturday and Sunday night. Oh, somebody posted Danny and Brinkley. Sunday night is Veterans Day. And Daniel, just like last year with me over on Coast, he's there every single year. Send our prayers. He is going to spend a few minutes with me over at Coast. And then we will, I'll let Daniel tell you his story about what's going on, and that'll be Sunday night over on Coast to Coast. There you go. I am your host, Jimmy Church, and that will wrap another episode here on Fade to Black, FADERNIGHT, with all of you. Truly my favorite night of the week. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster, Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to Teresa Yanaros tonight coming in. That was a pretty good premiere, wasn't it? And everybody that tweeted and called in tonight, thank you so much. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'm going to hang out on Twitter for a few more minutes. Until Saturday night on Coast, everybody be safe. Go back, Lee Tappy.